But thank you all so much for watching. What did you guys think about Memento? Did you like this movie? Did you not like this movie? Let me know in the comments below and we shall talk about it. And if you like this video, like it. If you love it, subscribe, hit the bell notification so you will get notified for all of my latest videos. And of course, until my next video, I'll see you all next time. Okay, but in all seriousness, hey guys, how is everybody doing? And welcome back to my Christopher Nolan review series. If you have not watched my review on his first film, Following, it is up now. So go ahead and do yourself a favor and watch that so you kind of get more of a context of why I'm reviewing the Christopher Nolan franchise, all of Christopher Nolan's movies. But if you have not watched that, and you are just watching this one, with the release of the Odyssey within the next under a month, I am going to be reviewing all of Christopher Nolan's movies right before that movie comes out. And yes, I have already done these movies before, but those were back when I was young and stupid and had no idea how to do YouTube. But now I'm a little bit more experienced and kind of have more of an idea what I'm doing. Some of my videos still aren't very good, but hey, it's that for that counts, right? But either ways, here are my thoughts on his second feature-length film, Memento. Starting off with my positives on Memento, and the first positive that I have to give this movie is its editing. So this whole movie, if you have not seen this movie, the whole movie is basically told backwards and out of place. Similar to what I was talking about in Following, how that movie kind of felt pre-Memento and how that movie kind of felt like, you know, the I don't want to say like kind of like the prototype of what this movie, what Christopher Nolan wanted this movie to be. He kind of made a prototype out of Memento with the Following, where the movie's kind of like out of place, where like it's showing the ending of the movie, like right in the middle of the movie, or the beginning at the end, or there's so many things just out of place, like just all over the place or whatever. It's that's what this movie is, and I have to give a lot of praise to the editing of this movie because the way this movie is edited together and how they make all the scenes fit in and where they answer questions that you were wondering about a scene like a few minutes ago. Like there's a scene where, I don't know, for example, where Lenny goes up to Natalie to find out who the hell Don is or whatever, or Dodd, whatever the fuck his name was. Like he just goes up, it's like, who the hell is Dodd and what have you got me into? And you as the audience are wondering what the fuck is going on, like what happened. And then later on, it kind of shows you a little scene of what happened, and then after a while, it kind of goes on and slowly starts to show you, the story or the subplot that's going on in the movie, and answers your questions that it showed in a scene a while ago. And I honestly feel this movie would not have worked and it would not have been as good as it was if it was not edited right. So I have to give so much praise to the editor of this movie. He genuinely made what this movie was, and I'm if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure Christopher Nolan helped edit this movie himself, if I'm not mistaken. Which I do know he helped edit Following. I don't know if he helped edit this movie, but whoever the editor was, they did an amazing job, and I would consider them the MVP of this movie. And if you've been following my channel for I don't know how long, but if you've been following my channel for a while, you should probably know that I am a huge sucker for revenge movies. I love revenge stories. My favorite movie of all time, Kill Bill, is my all-time favorite film, and that is a revenge movie. And, it's an amazing movie. And I just love revenge stories like Kill Bill, The Crow, and so many other great movies that are revenge tales. And what I loved about this movie is that it does a revenge tale in such a unique way that it's not like mediocre or generic or, a revenge story we basically already seen where a guy is going after the person that raped and murdered his wife or whatever. Like we've seen that kind of story before. Like the perfect example that I just gave with The Crow. Eric's fiance was raped and murdered, and he was resurrected to go after the people that killed his fiance. And this movie is basically that. He's just going after the guy that raped and murdered his wife or whatever. But he does it in such a unique way and differently. When I was talking about the editing and how this movie is just misplaced, and the beginning of the movie is actually the ending of the movie, and the end of the movie is actually the beginning of the film, and it shows you and the movie ends by showing you how this journey began or whatever. It does it in such a unique way, in a different way, that like if you were to like leave the theater after watching this movie, you're not kind of just like, that was a generic story, or just the generic revenge tale, but it adds so much uniqueness and difference to it that you enjoyed it because of that. And that's what made this movie so unique and awesome to other compared to other revenge stories. Not only am I just a huge fan of revenge tales and I just really really like them, but this movie just does it in such a different and unique way that you after you finish the movie you're like that was a good way to do a revenge tale without it being generic or, just the same thing as other ones. And I also feel like this movie does like a really good that was a mixture of great and good. A really great job of basically putting you in Lenny's shoes throughout the whole movie. You basically go on the journey that he goes, and that has to do with how about the misplacement of all of the movie and what this movie goes for. Because there's moments where you're confused, which I'll get into that in my negatives, but this movie kind of leaves you confused and wondering what's going on. Like, did he solve this already, or did he like why did he just wake up in this apartment? Why is this not his room at the apartment or whatever? Why is there a guy tied up in his closet? Like, why is this guy chasing him? Like, why does Natalie want him to meet him at the bar or whatever? Like, who's Teddy? Like, all of these weird things where this movie just does a great job of filling you inside, putting you inside Lenny's shoes and having you experience what he sees and what he's experiencing. You kind of feel his confusion. You kind of feel his fear in a way because there's moments where he's kind of scared because he doesn't know who to believe, like within Teddy and Natalie, which Natalie ends up like using him at some moments, and Teddy tricks him to not, you know, help Natalie because she's like the key piece that will help him find Teddy or whatever. So I just felt like they did an amazing job of putting you in Lenny's shoes, which that just shows you how good the writing and the directing of this movie is. But now moving on to my mixed aspects, there's this whole like weird black and white stuff going on throughout the movie, which I'm assuming is a homage to Following, which is Christopher Nolan's first movie. I'm assuming that it was kind of like a homage to that with his first movie, but it's not that I'm mixed about. But there's like this whole like weird things like throughout the movie, like something will happen with Natalie, Teddy, or whatever. Lenny will find another clue of how to find John G, and then it'll cut to him in the apartment, and it's in black and white. He's on the phone talking to somebody. We don't know who the fuck it is, and then we kind of start having like this weird story going on where he's talking about some guy named Sammy that also had memory loss, and for some weird fucking reason his wife just didn't believe that he had memory loss and was faking it the whole time. And there's like scenes where they're running tests on him where he has to pick up three different shapes, but some of them have like a shocker on it to where like if he grabs it it'll give him a quick shot, and they're trying to test him to see if he remembers which one it was. Or actually they don't test him on his memory, they test him on his instinct, they say. But where I'm mixed about that is like it's kind of cool to see that, I guess, but that black and white stuff is just more about showing Lenny in the apartment and showing how his story is beginning. But that all this Sammy stuff, I didn't really understand the point of it other than kind of showing that Lenny was like an insurance guy and kind of setting up his foreshadowing that maybe that he's going to lose his memory too, which I don't really see the point in it. And it does kind of end in a tragic way and a like an interesting way where the wife basically tries to call him out on it because she doesn't believe him. She thinks that he's faking all of it for some reason, and she like sets her watch back to 3 o'clock. And then says it's time for my medicine because I think she has diabetes because she takes insulin, and for some weird reason she has her husband do it. But she tries to call him out on his bluff, and every like I don't know, minute after she's given it, she's like, "Oh, it's time for my medicine." She does it like four different times in a row, so she gets four different injections of insulin in her body, which ends up putting her in a coma and kills her. Which that kind it ends in a tragic way, in an interesting way. It's like, "Whoa, what the fuck is wrong with you?" type thing. But I don't understand why it was in the movie. That's the one thing I was like really confused about and kind of sitting around. I'm like, why is this in the movie? What the hell's going on? It was interesting at points, but and it kind of takes you away from the movie at points because like you're kind of focused on Lenny's journey about finding the killer, even though you already know who he is. But it kind of takes you away from it a little bit, and I felt like it was just a huge distraction. Like this movie is almost 2 hours long. If you cut out all the Sammy stuff, this movie would be like a good an hour and 20 minutes maybe. But now moving on to my negatives, and when I was talking about how this movie does like a really good job of putting you in Lenny's shoes, which it does, and I still stand by that. My first negative is that this movie can be confusing at times to where it does kind of take away the enjoyment to where you're not necessarily enjoying the movie anymore, you're just more confused and wondering what the fuck is going on because there's like moments where like the bar scene or a different other scene will happen. Like you see a scene from this and then it comes back to that and like kind of retells you it. But you're so caught up in all the other stuff going on that it like answers a question from a scene like 40 minutes ago and you're kind of confused. And then there's certain scenes when you're watching it, you don't know where which scene goes where and how to put the puzzle together or whatever. And it just gets confusing and
I can't take it anymore!
it takes you away from the movie and enjoying it. Now, I still stand by that it does a good job putting you in Lenny's shoes, and I'm pretty sure that's the point of the confusion. But my God, after a while, you just quit enjoying it after a little bit. And my final negative is the whole romance stuff going on with Lenny and Natalie. Is it Natalie or is it Natalia? It's not Natalia, it's Natalie, I'm pretty sure. But there's like this weird stuff going on with these guys. Now, it's never objectively said that these two had sex. But the movie hints at it, but the chemistry between the two actors doesn't really hit at all. And throughout the whole movie, Natalie is just basically using Lenny to where it kind of doesn't really work. And this movie kind of tries to say like, oh, these two are in love or something like that, but it's just not interesting. But I don't know. It's never objectively said that they have sex or anything. Ugh, excuse me, but I don't know. That was just kind of in the movie just for romance because every movie has to have romance. Fuck The Notebook. I know that has nothing to do with this, but fuck that movie. All in all, guys, I really enjoy Memento. This is one of my own personal favorite Christopher Nolan movies. It does kind of have that factor where it doesn't have that much rewatchability, knowing that the journey you kind of already gone. This is my second, and actually no, this is my third time watching it in the span of like 3.5 years. So this is never really a movie I put on and rewatch constantly. But if I were to choose a good Christopher Nolan movie that no one else has watched, I would definitely recommend this movie. It is a damn good movie. It is a very well made movie and it's very different from revenge stories, which is why I personally like it. If you have not watched this movie, please do yourself a favor and check it out. It is a very good movie. I really enjoy it, but I can also understand why some people might not enjoy it due to the confusion. But other than that, it is a damn good movie. But what do you guys think about Memento? Have you seen it? What do you think about it? Do you like this movie? Do you not like this movie? Let me know in the comments below and we shall talk about it. For real this time. But thank you all so much for watching, and if you like this video, like it. If you love it, subscribe to the bell notifications so you will get notified for all my latest videos and for the rest of my Christopher Nolan review series. Thank you all so much for watching. Watch again, and as always, see you all next time.